Hey guys, we're back with another video, and in this video, we will be suggesting a list of shows that you can watch once you're finished with Better Call Saul. The series began as a spin-off prequel to Breaking Bad, but as it turns out, the audience formed a sort of deep connection to the show. So after the series finale, they're bound to feel empty from the inside. Don't worry though, we've got you covered. Let's begin. First on our list is The Wire. This show has a seriously good rating, with most people agreeing that The Wire is in fact a better show than Better Call Saul. But is it similar? The answer is yes. In most ways it is. Both the series focus on important topics like education, drug trafficking, crime, etc. Where Better Call Saul focuses on the cases that Saul deals with as a lawyer and gives us an overlook on the biggest problems associated with American cities, The Wire gives us different perspectives instead of focusing on just the law aspect. Since each season in The Wire focuses on one specific area like government and corruption, we get an in-depth look into it, being able to see how the issue affects people from different walks of life, including police, lawyers, criminals, and government officials, etc. The acting is great, the cast is great, and the script is a solid 10 by 10. While the series itself is realistic and serious, it's not one of those depressing TV shows that drain your energy when you watch them, and there's a good dose of humor involved in the dialogues. Next comes Barry. Fans of shows involving crime have often compared Barry to Better Call Saul and its original series. On average, everyone agreed that Better Call Saul was a show that had more depth because the series had more time to develop the characters and get into the details of why they are the way they are. Barry has fewer episodes, each having a shorter runtime than Better Call Saul, so most of the details are left for the audience to assume, although that may not necessarily be a problem if you don't mind a little mystery to your characters. If you don't have a problem with that, then we think you should definitely watch Barry, because although it does have crime elements in it, it's more fun and comedic and will get you hooked from the start. Barry also involves some psychological features, so it's a good balance between humor and seriousness, although it has a tendency to fall more into the dark humor category, but we're sure fans of Better Call Saul wouldn't mind that. And this one is pretty obvious, but Better Call Saul's original series, Breaking Bad, is another option. We already told you Breaking Bad is a predecessor of Better Call Saul, although it is set almost a decade after its spinoff. But how are they similar? For starters, they both follow stories of how the main characters earn their living by doing things that were illegal. Where Jimmy is trying to do the right thing and fight his inner bad, Walter is basically reveling in it. Jimmy is a genuinely kind person who just can't let go of scams, but Walter, yeah, he's genuinely power hungry and selfish. But that's what makes the drama so much more interesting, isn't it? Are you tired of the main character always being good? But also there's a sense of urgency you see in Breaking Bad that isn't there in Better Call Saul. There's always a clock ticking somewhere, which makes it so much more exciting. So if you haven't already, you better go and add Breaking Bad to your watch list. Moving on to the next series, Suits. One of the most famous series for people aspiring to become lawyers or people who just love crime and justice shows. If you haven't watched it yet, you probably work great under pressure, because almost everyone has given in to the hype and watched at least a few episodes of this series. Suits is a drama revolving around lawyers, and is almost exactly the way you imagine life as a lawyer to be. But that's just the problem. It's based on what people assume about law and courts and isn't realistic at all, unlike Better Call Saul. But if you're not looking for realistic, Suits is good entertainment, and we would definitely recommend you watch at least one season of it. If you still need more suggestions, then you could watch The Good Fight. The Good Fight is another courtroom series that will keep you hooked because of its great cast and clever script. The Good Fight, a spin-off of The Good Wife, has spent several seasons debating hot subjects while providing some of the finest interpersonal drama on television. The show involves political drama, courts, and lawyers, is more serious than others on the list, so it's not exactly an easy watch. But that doesn't mean it isn't worth watching. If you like serious shows, this is definitely worth a try. Overall, the show's increasing emphasis on social issues and the arc of female freedom from a postmodern feminist viewpoint made it an interesting change from series that deal with injustice and power corruption without these elements. Next is the series Billions. This one is definitely the closest to Better Call Saul in terms of storyline. If you enjoy seeing Jimmy McGill planning or spinning a story in court, you'll enjoy watching Paul Giamatti chew the scenery as the United States Attorney Chuck Rhodes, a guy who will go to any length to get justice. Billions is a series that explores lawmakers and hedge fund elites as they exploit, limit, and acquire control, riches, and influence. If you're worried this show will be too serious, don't worry, this show is far from it. Billions is, in fact, humorous, provocative, and clever, managing to root all of its crazy moments in strong character work that's backed by a genuinely superb cast with Paul Giamatti, Damian Lewis, and more lately Corey Stoll as the main characters. We assure you this series isn't one that will bore you at any point, so if you've been contemplating starting Billions, this is your sign to do it. If you're looking for something a little more fun, then Animal Kingdom is your best bet. This series is so well done, we can't recommend it enough. Really, the dysfunctional family drama and intense action kept the audience audience hooked throughout the show. If you're into criminal shows, drugs, and psychological drama, this is your show. Animal Kingdom is a dark and gritty, frequently over-the-top and outrageously hilarious drama about a family of thieves who spend much of their time surfing and taking drugs when they're not stealing money. Sounds like a noble profession, yeah? Ellen Barkin is wonderful as the mother, fluctuating from loving and hating her sons very often, and there's just never an end to family drama, with the brothers fighting each other, intricate heists, backstabbing, betrayals, and a whole lot of humor. What kind of puts us off are the unnecessary sex scenes, but if you're not bothered by that, go for it. Actually, Fargo may even be pretty similar too. Fargo is an anthology series directed by the Coen brothers and is based on a movie with the same name, involving crime, drama, and dark humor. Each season has its own narrative, with one character connecting the first and second seasons. The manner in which the screenplay of this series is given a unique makeover is similar to that of Better Call Saul, and with extraordinary cast, both dramas are thrown together in the list of the top most interesting shows. Fargo perfectly blends dark humor with sudden violence and unsentimental warmth, much like its namesake, and that is what makes the series so worth watching. If you've seen the movie, then you know how brilliant it is and how it's almost impossible to match that level. But we're here to tell you, the TV is almost just as good. And if you're looking for movies, The Lincoln Lawyer is a nice one. The Lincoln Lawyer presents a cleaner and more moral perspective of the legal profession, with Mickey Haller portrayed as an idealistic, though unusual, heroic lawyer. Whereas Saul uses the law to his benefit, Haller appears to be driven by determination to see justice served. The series is based on a criminal defense attorney's life and is a crime thriller with a lot of mystery. Want to know a secret? It's not just a movie, so if you like the plot, you can go ahead and watch the series with the same name too. And the best part is, that it's not as difficult to keep up with characters and storylines as Better Call Saul, so it won't tire your mind either. And although it's not a movie, Show Me a Hero is short enough to pass as one, albeit extended. If you're looking for a detailed narrative about rules and how they influence individuals, go no further than the compelling series Show Me a Hero. Great courtroom sequences, fascinating legal battles, and profound social and political messages pepper the series. And it only has 6 episodes, so it's just like watching a longer version of a movie. A quick watch that sheds light on an important political topic. The show is similar to Better Call Saul because it involves courtrooms, but that's almost as far as it goes. This one tilts more towards the political side, so if you're into politics, this is definitely your cup of tea. And that's a wrap for this video. See you in the next one.